China's military drill. Id talk small action C. Lei Ching-te gains record support. Shaanxi coal mine gas explosion has killed 7 people and many are trapped underground. Unresolved northern China floods set stage for largest flood of the year in southern Three Gorges Reservoir. Unveiling the shadowy Chinese organ transplants. Media. Chinese leader absent from important BRICS summit foreign. China's Great Fall. Economic crisis exposes leadership failure, demands radical reform. Chinese and South Korean companies set up magnet factories in Vietnam to reduce dependence on Chinese supplies. All will be covered today in China Undercover. If you find our information helpful, please subscribe and turn on the notification. It will help us get more motivation to produce more quality videos. Now back to the news. China's military Drilly big talk, small action in Lai Ching-te gains record support. The Vice President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, Lai Ching-te, recently completed an overseas visit during which he acted as a special envoy for President Tsai Ing-wen. He visited Paraguay, one of Taiwan's diplomatic allies, attending the inauguration ceremony of Paraguay's new president, Peña. The trip included transits through New York and San Francisco in the USA. Upon returning to Taiwan on the 18th of August, Lai reported on the achievements of his visit, in what appears to be a move of retaliation, just before Lai's departure and shortly after his return. The Chinese Communist Party (CP) conducted military exercises in the vicinity of Taiwan. The CCP's Eastern Theater Command, which organized these exercises, declared them a warning against the collusion and provocation of Taiwan independence forces and external forces. An analyst from the Taiwan Institute for National Policy Research, Ma Zhengkun, described the Chinese military's exercises as a lot of noise but little impact. Ma emphasized the smaller scale of these exercises compared to previous ones conducted by the CCP. He believes that due to Lai Ching-te's restrained approach during his U.S. transit and the broader tension in the Taiwan Strait, the CCP had limited pretext to escalate further. An unintended escalation could trigger military actions involving not only Taiwan and China but potentially also the U.S. and other regional players, increasing the risk of a more widespread conflict. Cheng Yi of the Institute of European and American Studies echoed this sentiment, suggesting that Lai's U.S. transit was part of a consensus reached with U.S. consultations. Notably, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken had earlier remarked that the CCP had no grounds to use this transit as a reason for provocations. Vice President Lai Ching-te expressed concerns about the CCP's intentions, asserting that if his transit through the U.S. was used as an excuse for threats, it would only underscore international beliefs that the CCP is attempting to influence Taiwan's elections via military intimidation. In political developments, a recent poll from the Taiwan Public Opinion Foundation regarding the 2024 presidential race revealed that Lai Ching-te, the DOPI candidate, holds a commanding lead with 43.4% support. Shaanxi coal mine gas explosion has killed 7 people and many are trapped underground. Recently, a coal mine in Yangchuan County, Yan'an City, Shaanxi Province, experienced a gas explosion accident, causing at least 7 deaths and 4 people trapped underground. The incident occurred in Hegeguoyan Village, Gaojiatan Township, Yongping Town, Yangkou Town, Yanchuan County. China Central Television told a 2002 that around 10 p.m. on the 21st, a gas explosion occurred in the Xintai coal mine in Yangchuan County. This led to 7 deaths and 4 people trapped underground. According to a report by the Guizhou People's Concern newspaper on the 22nd, a staff member from the Xintai coal mine in Yanchuan County stated that 9 injured individuals had been sent to the hospital. The Yanchuan County Emergency Management Bureau mentioned that the site is still being searched, and a definitive conclusion can only be made after the accident investigation. As shown on the Tianyancha app, the Xintai Coal Mine General Partnership in Yanchuan County was established on May 6, 2008, with Zhang Muxian as the legal representative. This enterprise is related to Yanquan County Yanhua Coal Industry Company Limited due to restrictions on high consumption imposed on party Maoqing. Who is the legal representative? Both entities are subject to the same restrictions. Previously, the Xintai coal mine had been penalized multiple times. Just this April, it was penalized twice. Among the 21 violations were failures to conduct comprehensive safety inspections, gas checks on the working face, etc. The mine was ordered to halt production for rectification and was fined 1.73 million yuan. Additionally, for not promptly reporting a pollution incident to the competent authorities, it was fined 30,000 yuan. Furthermore, in September and December of 2022, the mine was fined 303,000 yuan and 160,000 yuan, respectively, for violating coal mine safety regulations and regulations concerning occupational disease prevention in coal mine workplaces. On May 23rd of this year, the National Mine Safety Supervision Bureau Shaanxi branch of the Communist Party of China issued an announcement regarding the resumption of production at the Xintai coal mine in Yanquan County. Mainland Chinese netizens expressed, "This kind of accident is not the first time. How many families will be shattered again? Find out the cause of the accident, hold those responsible accountable, and give the victims and their families an explanation. Hope families receive proper compensation." Some questioned if safety facilities don't comply. Is a fine enough? Can workers still be put at risk? How big is the hidden web of interests? Unresolved northern China floods set stage for largest flood of the year in southern Three Gorges Reservoir. The Three Gorges Dam is getting ready to release water due to the possibility of the biggest flood this year. The officials have given orders to start gradually releasing water from the dam. This decision comes after heavy rain in the Jincha and Yangtze River basins for 2 consecutive days. The Yangtze River Water Resources Commission announced that the Three Gorges Dam will experience the largest flood of this year. According to the forecast, from August 21 to 22, there will be moderate to heavy rain in the Jinja and Yangtze River basins. This will affect areas like Dongting Lake, the middle reaches of the Yangtze River, and Poyang Lake due to the current and expected rainfall. Significant increases in water levels are expected in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, including the Jinsha River, Minjiang River, Tuojiang River, and Wujiang River, as well as in the Three Gorges Dam, Qingjiang River, and Hanjiang River. The water level at the Shig Station on the Jinsha River is predicted to exceed the safety level. Some smaller rivers within the affected areas might experience floods beyond the warning level due to heavy rainfall. There's also a high risk of flash floods in certain areas due to intense rainfall. Although the water levels in the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River are currently 3.23 to 4.48 meters lower than the long-term average for this period, they are higher by 1.98 to 2.69 meters compared to the same period last year. Reservoirs in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River have stored more water than last year, with an excess of 20.335 billion cubic meters. This additional reservoir capacity should help improve the overall water storage situation. The Yangtze River Water Resources Commission has instructed to gradually increase the water release from the Three Gorges Dam by 22,000 cubic meters per second starting from August 22. They will adjust the release amount based on upcoming weather forecasts. Unveiling the shadowy Chinese organ transplants. Wang Shixiong, a former Taiwanese legislator, has become the center of a media storm following his recent disclosure of undergoing a liver transplant in mainland China 6 years ago. The authenticity of the liver's source and the circumstances surrounding the transplant have raised serious doubts and allegations of illegal practices. At 62, Wang was diagnosed with liver tumors and underwent a liver transplant in China, costing about 2.4 million Hong Kong dollars. He claimed to have received a fresh liver from a 28-year-old, but knew nothing about the donor's identity. The operation occurred on July 16, 2017, at Renji Hospital in Shanghai. However, Wang's story brings up several concerning issues that point to a potentially darker picture. First, the efficiency with which the transplant was arranged suggests the possibility of a group of living donors being held in waiting. compatibility for organ transplants is rare. Yet Wang was informed that surgery could occur just a day after his examination. The origin and identity of these potential donors remain a mystery. Second, Wang's claim that only 1/3 of the liver was transplanted is inconsistent with most living donor liver transplants in China, where whole livers are typically used. The survival of the 28-year-old donor and his ability to start a business is questionable. Third, China's law requires organ donations to occur only between family members, raising the question of why a renowned hospital like Renji would break the law for a retired Taiwanese legislator. Fourth, with only 300,000 registered donors, China's liver transplant numbers far exceed those in the U.S., which has over 100 million registered donors. With an average waiting time of just over 2 weeks in China compared to a year in the U.S., questions arise about the origin of all these organs. The inconsistencies expose two alarming truths. First, the Chinese Communist Party (CPC) is accused of being involved in the mass killing of practitioners of certain faiths, ethnic minorities, and dissidents, eager to use surplus organs. Second, the CCP appears to be promoting organ transplants to foreign political and business figures, aiming to tie special interests and achieve political objectives. The case shed light on a grim picture where young or middle-aged individuals may have disappeared to provide organs. Such allegations, if true, portray the CCP in a highly negative light, engaging in practices that are not only unethical, but a gross violation of human rights. The story of Wang Shixiang's liver transplant is more than a personal medical journey. It opens a window into a deeply troubling and seemingly systematic practice under the CCP's regime. U.S. media. Chinese leader absent from important BRICS summit forum. The unexpected absence of Chinese President Jinping from the BRICS Business Forum has sparked concern and confusion. Xi Jinping arrived in Johannesburg for the 15th BRICS summit and a state visit, marking his second international trip this year. His schedule included meetings with South African President Ramaphosa, during which he was awarded South Africa's highest-level honor for foreign leaders. However, his unexplained failure to attend a crucial forum that was attended by other BRICS leaders is regarded as a notable misstep. The photo of the event venue posted on social media platform X by Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Hua Chunying did not include President Xi's presence, yet she stated President Xi Jinping delivered a speech at the closing ceremony of the 2023 BRICS Business Forum. This apparent contradiction only added to the growing mystery. In the speech conveyed through Wang Wentao, Xi Jinping criticized the division of the world into democratic and authoritarian camps, indirectly hitting out at the Biden administration. While emphasizing China's economic resilience, Xi's comments were overshadowed by his absence. China-focused researchers and experts have expressed concern and confusion over Xi's absence. Brian Hart of Xi has found it very strange. Bonnie Glaser of the German Marshall Fund questioned if something was wrong, and China expert Bill Bishop commented that it looks odd. The situation bears a resemblance to the sudden disappearance of former Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang, who has been absent from the public eye since the end of June without explanation. This pattern of unexplained behavior, as pointed out by Professor Ho Fung Hung of Johns Hopkins University, has become a norm, further emphasizing a lack of transparency within Chinese leadership. It has raised serious questions about China's ability to communicate and engage effectively on the international stage. Xi's absence, without any public explanation, reflects a significant failure in leadership, damaging China's reputation at a critical time when the BRICS nations are positioning themselves as a significant force in global economics and politics. As the BRICS summit continues, Xi Jinping's expected attendance at subsequent meetings will be closely watched. However, the failure to adequately explain his absence from a critical forum has already marred China's image, emphasizing a leadership failure and casting shadows over its role in international collaborations. China's Great Fall. Economic crisis exposes leadership failure, demands radical recent reports underscore a sudden and sharp decline in China's economy. The world's second-largest economy, which had previously shown remarkable growth, is now experiencing stagnation in its three major economic drivers: investment, exports, and consumption. An opinion piece in Singapore's United Morning Post authored by Lu Mengzhong, chairman of the 100 Schools of Thought think tank, calls for a radical political system reform. This includes implementing constitutional democracy, universal suffrage, public declaration of officials' assets, judicial independence, and safeguarding freedom of speech and press for public supervision. Such changes are deemed essential for ensuring high quality and rapid economic development. This critique is particularly intriguing, coming from a formerly patriotic figure who has shifted his stance after 2016. Many on social media interpret the publication of this article as a sign of discontent within the system toward Xi Jinping's rule, even seeing it as a forceful critique of his authority. The downturn is widely attributed to Xi Jinping's series of misguided policies, with many suggesting that he has lost popular support and that a change in leadership may be required. Yang Xu, an Apollo Network commentator, believes that China's economic trajectory was inevitably heading towards this decline, but Xi Jinping's policies have accelerated its arrival, making him a direct factor in China's economic failure. The Communist Party's priority for stability over economic gains is illustrated by actions like the enforcement of the national security law, the crackdown on the Hong Kong pro-democracy movement, and the willingness to allow foreign investments to leave. The article emphasizes that the potential gains from merely reforming China's economic system have reached their limits. The failure of current policies and a series of misguided decisions have brought China's economy to a precipice. To further develop the economy and overcome the current challenges, it appears that not only reform but a fundamental change in the Communist Party's leadership is required to ultimately resolve the current issues. The situation paints a grim picture of failure and misdirection, calling for urgent political introspection and action. And South Korean companies set up magnet factories in Vietnam to reduce dependence on Chinese supplies. As tensions between the U.S. and China continue to escalate, Vietnam is emerging as an alternative destination for rare earth magnet production, a sector crucial to various industries including electric vehicles and smartphones. However, the developments in Vietnam's rare earth magnet sector are fraught with challenges and shortcomings. South Korean conglomerate SKI and Chinese company Inst Magnetic are among the firms relocating assembly lines to Vietnam, with customers actively requesting this change to diversify supply chains beyond China. Despite the strategic importance of magnets, Vietnam's efforts to compete with China, which dominates the magnet and rare earth metal manufacturing industry, appear to be faltering. The Vietnamese government's plans to expand rare earth production by the end of the decade face uncertainty, with its refining capacity accounting for only 3% of the global share. The attempt to establish Vietnam as a significant competitor in the rare earth industry seems premature and fraught with difficulties. Sky's $80 million investment in a new factory in Vietnam, aimed at doubling its production capacity, appears to be a risky venture in a country that is still struggling to establish itself in the global magnet industry. David Merriman from Project Blue warned anyone attempting to build a supply chain from mine to magnet from scratch will face many challenges. China's Inst Company's plans to begin factory operations in northern Vietnam as early as next month, and the decision by another Chinese magnet manufacturer, MagSound, to build a factory in Vietnam next year, may be seen as overly optimistic in light of the considerable hurdles. Vietnam's low labor costs and access through various free trade agreements may be appealing, but the country's ability to cater to demands from automobile manufacturers and electronics companies remains uncertain. The emphasis on Vietnam as a solution to over-reliance on supplies from China seems misguided given the country's current position in the global rare earth magnet market. In conclusion, the shift towards Vietnam in the magnet and rare earth industry is characterized by hasty decisions, unmet ambitions, and an overall failure to establish the country as a viable alternative to China. The rush to diversify supply chains and mitigate the impacts of tensions between the US and China has led to investments in a country ill-prepared to meet the strategic demands of the magnet manufacturing industry. The focus on Vietnam appears to be a miscalculated strategy, emphasizing the complexity and challenges in shifting global supply chains. And that is today's episode. If you found this video informative, please subscribe and ring a bell to get notification. Thank you for watching and see you next time. And that is today's episode. If you found this video informative, please subscribe and ring a bell to get notification. Thank you for watching and see you next time.